the good old 80s, an era when pop videos reached a peak of creativity, conceptually pouring a glass of water over your future wife, and when the stop and search laws were rigorously enforced. Paul Young was an icon, and Eddie the Eagle Edwards was our sporting deity. But methinks the boy has weathered well, and more to the point, he's got some serious tackle. Now, Paul, I can imagine the Harley is very, very rock star, isn't it?
Yeah, they are. In fact, it's a shame. That's the only downside to the image of the Harley, really. In fact, I read something the other day, you know, about it's mostly over 40s that have got them now. But I got mine when I was 30, so I was ahead of the game.
Is that true?
Yeah. I mean, the whole reason for that is really, I was a musician when I was 17, and you can't cart your gear around if you've got a bike, so I had to save up and get a car. And then once you're off and running, the next chance you get of having a motorbike is when it's an affordable luxury like it was, you know, at the time. I thought, well, I really fancy a bike now, you know, and I can afford to have one. I think if I was younger, I might have ended up with some jet bike that was tearing around, you know, and I probably would have done myself an injury. But the thing about those old things is they chug away, you know. You can't be too dangerous on something like that. And I've gone through the speed thing. I've had the fast cars and stuff like that.
What we're leaning against here, I wouldn't assume someone like you would actually own. I mean, it's a Ford pickup.
Well, I felt like I was slipping into safe old age, you know, a little bit with it. I've gone through, the first ever sporty car I got was a Datsun, you know, when I'd got hit.
A Datsun Cherry.
Datsun Cherry, yeah. And then I went from there to a Porsche. I had a GT Porsche, and then I had a Ferrari Dino. But then we slipped into practicality and everything we had, in like family cars, and then Stacey would always get the A car and I'd get the B car, and one day I said, let's get rid of this B car and get something more interesting.
But you actually use this?
Yeah, I use it every day.
It's not just something to look at or to polish. I mean,
no, it's not, no. And I'm using it as a workhorse at the moment. It's been quite handy. I mean, I got it for the romanticism, really, of having an old truck, you know, and I've got a couple of friends in America that had them. I tend to go more for personality and individuality rather than, you know. So you've got a Ferrari, then what do you do with it? You drive it, that's it. You know, with this, I bought it cheap, and it's a hobby that I'm going through, finding the original steering wheel, odds and sods, and it's got a brand new Chevy 350, but I get to choose what I want to put in it. I get to choose the Chevy 350 engine with the 350 transmission. I mean, I go and do pub gigs with friends, and I'll just chuck all the amps and stuff in the back as well. You know, that's easy too.
So what's the future hold?
I've just been touring, doing summer festivals. I'm away 2-3 days a week. So I'm home with the family as much as I can be. I can get stuff done around the house, you know. So it's a kind of laid-back year this year. Songwriting has picked up, and I've started to get some covers out in Nashville, and that's a nice way to make money as well, because you do the work's all done from home. Yeah, I don't have the hassle of paying musicians and working
and touring and performing it
and having physical breakdowns.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. What's it like when you first realised that it's actually going to happen to you?
I remember it happened vividly even now. The fame happens before the benefits. So I was riding around in a Vauxhall Chevette, you know, getting recognised. And they're probably going, no, it can't be him, not in that. You know?